I just got out of the game exchange on South University in Little Rock, picked up a couple of things, had a nice, fun little chat with the worker behind the counter. That's one thing I love about Game Exchange. Like, all of their employees by and large are gamers, so you can actually have pretty good conversations with them. And now I'm headed toward the Best Buy in Little Rock. In case you can't tell, obviously, kids are in school, wife is asleep, have some free time on my hands. I went to the Best Buy in North Little Rock not too long ago just to check on their physical media selection. And folks, it was dwindling. So that was about 3 weeks ago. Ooh, excuse me. Now I'm on my way to the Little Rock one, see what the situation is there, and maybe if I can have a conversation with somebody that works there and see if they have any idea what the plans are moving forward with the stock they have on hand. And after that, I'm probably going to swing by the Goodwill that's nearby because, as I was telling Arkansas Picker, I haven't been to that one in many, many, many months, and I've gotten good stuff there before, so come along for the ride, will you? Well, I went to the back and couldn't even find the main DVD section. I found this small little kiosk of a 4K Ultra HD that's largely empty. Let's check the other side, a little more full on this side. But what I still am not seeing, and I've walked across the whole store almost at this point, is the dedicated DVD and Blu-ray section. Maybe they've already gotten rid of it. Okay, I think I see it. In the past, they've always been at the back, but this is the DVD section now in Blu-ray. Just a small little display. I think this one is maybe about 12 feet long. And that's what they got. It's absolutely, oh, that is so cool. I would love to have that, but not for that price, y'all. Well, dang it, I was unable to get a conversation going with anybody in there. So if I had to guess, they'll probably just end up moving whatever stock they have to an online store or selling it off to some wholesaler or something. Anyway, on to the next stop. You know what, y'all? I completely forgot that there was a game exchange over here, so it looks like I'm going to hit up 2 of these in one day. Well, that game exchange was a big old wash. They did have a couple things I want, but not that I was willing to pay that kind of money for. So on to Goodwill at Markham. And again, I don't think I've been here in 6 months or so, so hopefully they will be able to reward me for my patience. Well, I've been meaning to get a little setup for my retro game room, and I think I found the perfect candidate for $10, y'all. And there's this little rotating deal up top for the TV. Hell yes. And what's crazy is this thing is a Sony manufactured TV stand, and what I intend to put on it is my Sony Trinitron that's only about a 20-inch model, so it will fit perfectly. Well, I decided to stop by the Gamestop over here in West Little Rock, and I get to the door, and check this shit out. This location is permanently closed. Man, y'all, now, I pay attention to GameStop and what's going on with them. I know they recently closed one of their last 2 distribution centers, and it had been revealed that they planned on closing up to 500 stores this year. So I was kind of surprised that this location here in West Little Rock, especially given that this is a relatively affluent area, I'm surprised that that was the one to go, because there are 2 in North Little Rock that are within a mile of each other. And neither, near as I can tell, does a great business, because their stock is just abysmal. Like, you go in there and the selection is unless you go in there for Funko Pops, there's not much there for you. So yeah, I was really surprised. You know, I'm starting to regret renewing my pro membership because that goes for a whole year, and at this rate, I don't know if GameStop's going to be around in a year. Holy crap, man. And this was one, I forget what the designation they had for their really high-performing stores. It was something like Platinum or Prestige store or something like that, but that was one of those. So if that one's not making it, I don't think it looks too good for GameStop as a whole. Again, they're close to 500 stores this year, and there's not a lot of them left. Oof.
Well, folks, this is actually the second time I'm shooting this video because I did the first one a while ago, and despite the camera telling me that my microphone was on, it was not. So anyway, yesterday was a fairly productive day as game hunting goes. Normally, especially in the thrift shops these days, you know, you're seldom ever going to find a video game, heck, half the time even a movie that you want. But yesterday I did both of those. I'll spare you the details on the movies. You know, this is primarily a gaming channel, even though I am all about physical media. But I wanted to get to the games because normally something I won't do is if I find an empty case, I won't buy just an empty case. However, I had to make an exception because I found what I thought was going to be The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And you have to understand that anytime you find a game on the shelf at Goodwill, there's a good chance that it's been stolen from the inside. And as you can see, surprise, surprise. However, there's a very good reason why I decided to pick this $3 gem up, because behind this is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD Remake for the Wii U, which even as a loose disc is it's fairly pricey. And I don't own a Wii U, so of course I'm going to sell it. But I also picked up Okami for $3. Now, this is a game that I own for the PlayStation 2. But I'm told that it's a whole other dynamic when you're playing it with the Wii, because you can use the Wiimotes like the paintbrush, so I'm really excited to try that out. And then at the first GameStop, or not GameStop, the first Game Exchange I stopped at, I picked up a game called Rime. And I'm not 100% certain what it's about, but I was taken in by the artwork, and the art style of the game, as I see it on the back, looks really compelling. I'm a very visual person, so I'm taken by that kind of thing. Now, this last one, I had heard at some point that this existed, but I had put it out of my mind, hadn't thought about it in a while, and I've never actually seen one on the shelf till yesterday. And for $3, I found Recore, the Definitive Edition. And the thing about this is, I looked on eBay, and I didn't find just a whole lot of copies of it, not the Definitive Edition. And the sold listings on this, I think the cheapest I saw was $15, but the average seemed to be anywhere from $30 to $40. And I'm not saying for certain that one day this is going to be one of those more collectible games for the Xbox One once people really start digging into collecting for that system, but I have a feeling it just might be. And I didn't get anything from GameStop for obvious reasons. I'm still blown away that that was the location that they closed. If they'd have closed either one of the ones in North Little Rock, I wouldn't have been too shocked. But that one, that was quote unquote the good one in the area. And at one point, the guys that were inside disassembling the interior, one of them came out and asked if he could help me with something, and I guess he was just wanting to know what I was doing with my phone out and recording. If I'd have been smart, what I'd have said was, hey, are you getting rid of any of your signage? If so, you know, can I buy it? Can I take it off your hands? I didn't do that. No, I just climbed in my car and went on home. Damn shame. I really, truly don't see GameStop lasting a whole lot longer. Again, I think that at one point they had 4 major distribution centers in the U.S. They're now down to 1. They've been closing stores. In the stores that they are keeping open, they're manned by skeleton crews. And they're looking a lot like Toys R Us looked toward the end. I have a love-hate relationship with GameStop. At one point, I really enjoyed going to their stores. You know, back before digital gaming really came to rule the roost as far as game sales go. And they, they used to have those midnight launches for games, and there'd be people, lined up around the store, and it was just a fun time, and it was all about the games. And you could go into GameStop, and it was always fairly well manned. Like you could always find somebody to help you, and it seemed like by and large the people that worked there were happy to work there. But if you paid any attention to the company over the last few years, especially if you hop on like GameStop Reddit, people are just leaving. They've been leaving the company in droves. The way they treat their employees is absolutely pitiful. But at this point, I don't even think they're trying to hide the fact that they're about to shut the whole thing down. Anybody that works for them right now, I hope they aren't counting on having any sort of job security. I think you could apply that to a certain degree to a larger part of retail, but I just don't see it being around very long. And while I'm not the biggest fan of giant corporations, and it's like on one hand, it's hard to feel sorry for them when they shut down. I think GameStop is still going to be one of them things that when it's gone, a lot of us are going to miss it. Kind of like the way we miss Blockbuster now, or Hollywood Video, Toys R Us, Circuit City. I don't know. But what I do know is it's getting awfully late at night. If you can't tell, this is the day after I filmed everything else. I set a goal this year to reach a subscriber base on my channel of 500. I'm still haven't worked out how I'm going to make that happen, but that's where you come in. If you've got any sort of entertainment or value from this video, hit me with a like, hit me with a comment, hell, hit me with a share if you feel so inclined. And just help make that happen. The 67 of you that have been on board for a little while, God bless you. Thank you. And y'all have a good night or day or afternoon, whatever you happen to be watching this video. Catch you on the next one, y'all.